Hello, Frederic. Thanks a lot to accept this interview for Farm to Fork. You are in Martinique, I think, today. I am in Montreal, and it's for people which will be all around the world during June. So it's quite impressive technology today. Far away from your farm, no? So thanks a
Yes,
lot
I
again.
am.
May I ask you to make a short presentation of yourself, please?
Yes, that's right. I am in Martinique, and tonight I would be in Guadalupe, but I am on mission, looking at the quality of soils on the bananas and the sugarcane production. So I probably will have a little time to go to the beach, but most of the time I am in the field, so I'm stuck in the fields. Um, that's beside this work of agronome and going a little bit around France and around the world. My main occupation will be a farmer, and I'm farming 150 hectares in central part of France. Quite poor soil at the beginning. I work in partnership with 5 other farmers. We are producing conventional crop. I mean, like maize, wheat, and oilseed rape, barley. We have also quite a large sheep production. We have also some cattle. There is some hens, some chicken, and it will be very soon some vegetable production also arriving with another young guy on the farm.
Okay, thanks a lot. So I am Olivier Cor. I work for Lamont, and I work with Frederic for a long time now, and I'm just part of the agronomic team for Lamont. So why we are there together? It's because you are really the farmer I know, which use much more the soil life, and which are really working on that for a long, long time. And that's something it seems important to have a product which have efficacy on farm. So for you, why the soil life is so important, and why you put that in the earth of your farming system?
Well, as a farmer, well, it is an enterprise, and I got to be profitable and also reliable. And I have choose many years ago, 25 years ago, to be no-till and develop conservation agriculture on the farm. So the roots of my crop, of my cover crops, are doing, the soil organization, and so I use no a lot of less fuel, a lot less steel, and basically I try as most as possible to use life, an organism and biodiversity to do the work and to do the control at my place. It's a way to be very efficient and also reliable and resilient at the same time.
Okay, I remember very well when I speak with you about our product based on microorganisms. I am very happy, I'm very proud, and I arrive and say, okay, I have a solution for you. It's the wonderful product, the best product in the world. And you look at me and you laugh a little and say, okay, we will see. And for you, where can we use this type of technology, or what is your point of view about this type of technology?
I remember. I mean, and you have done it a few times already. Well, any product or any implement or any agrochemicals or whatsoever you're using, they are not solution. They are just tools we can put into a system, and it is a lot more important to think system, and the system. It's what will make it work or will not make it work. So the what you can bring to me has to get into my system and try to evolve or increase the capability of my system. But I don't know any technology that will be solution. They will be just tools into a complete and a complex system, because farming is a complex system.
Yeah, and thanks a lot for making us understand that, because I think it's a key point. Another key point I remember very well, and something which are very important for me, when you say me, okay, don't forget that the farmer must stay the guy which makes the decision in the farm and may understand where he want to go and have to go on field and put his foot on the soil, etc. And to be able to arrive somewhere and to have success in economic point of view or unsustainable point of view. And I think that the point
we are managing an ecosystem, and we are managing an agro ecosystem, which involve, I mean, not only the living part, but involving also the tools we put in it, and involve also the relation with people, involve also the economic. So it's important, and I don't think and it is sometimes very dangerous to buy management as solution. The management has to be done by the farmer, and the farmer is the one that putting the tools together in order to find the to organize the best system. But the things that are getting into the farm are just tools. And if you get management, like for example precision agriculture, stuff like that, it will be someone doing the job instead of you, and it will be at extra cost as well, and it will probably not be as well as if you would be the one doing the management.
Okay, I understand that. And I think it's so important if you want to have a success also. I'm agree with that. And you know, we have the example of the water management together, which could be interesting. And that's the first subject that we speak about, if I remember well, about mycorrhizae. And what is your point of view on that? Because it's so that's the first experience, so it's important for us.
Yes, I mean, as we talk more and more about climate change, I mean, the risk of drought or lack of water is becoming quite important and a large perspective, and agriculture is really facing a big risk for that. Many people think, well, we can have a better irrigation system, more precise irrigation system. Some other people think, well, GMO, we can have probably plant that will be able to handle drought better and produce in dry system. And there is people like you that come with mycorrhizae and say, well, we will have extra pump, connected to the plant and to the roots to get more water out of the soil. I mean, all those things are good tools, but not solution. I mean, the most important things for me as a farmer is to concentrate, first of all, in the quality of the soil in order to increase the size of the reservoir by increasing the depth, increasing the organic matter that can store more water and give more water back to my plants, my crop. Also, to keep residue at the surface to reduce the temperature of the soil and have a better work on the rain a lot better to be able to infiltrate and not have some wash of the rain. And so all those things we can already increase and sometimes almost double. I mean, the availability of the rain that we're getting, and then the tools that you can bring will be just a little thing that can even reach a better system.
Okay, yeah, we give you a pump, but you have to give us the tank and the water.
Yes.
You just speak about the residue you let on the surface of the soil. I know that you manage also all the organic matter in specific way. And do you have an idea about the impact of this type of farming about carbon cycle? Because you are not only people which are looking what's happened around you. You have to change the things for the climate and the CO2 and everything.
Yes, I mean, we have been working many years on trying to figure out the impact we have on our own soil. and also the impact we can have globally with those approach. And last year, I had a chance to have a survey on my farm, and basically capture 176 tons of CO2. To give an idea, it's 1.2 million kilometers with a conventional car that will be emitting 150 grams of CO2 per kilometers. So that gives you a kind of idea of the impact. So as you said, I compensate my air trip to Martinique and Guadeloupe quite easy. And it is way better than plant trees, just use the CO2 we can use on the farm. And so this means that basically farming can have at the moment quite interesting impact on their own soil, and positive impact also on the price. Better in the way, in the economic way, and also a positive impact more globally. So we are at a very interesting time in farming at the moment.
Sure, impressive result for sure. But you speak about carbon, but we speak about water. But what's about nutrients? Because if we look carefully about the carbon cycle, it's quite linked also to the other nutriment in the soil. And I know that you have a reflection around that also to have a good balance between biological but also mineral contents in soil.
That's right. And your interview is for farm to fork, and I think it is a very good point in order to stretch the line. We are not only producing goods, we are producing food, and someone will eat the food. So it is very important to look at that way. In conservation agriculture networks, we are talking more about soil health, and we think a soil that is more healthy will produce a healthy food that will be healthy for the animals, or will be healthy for the human. So I think it is already something a little bit better. And as you said, nutrients are very important also into the system. And many people at the moment are thinking more biological, but they forgot about the nutrients that we are rotating into the system. And farm to fork is too short because it's not a cycle. And we have to think what happened when the food is consumed. And we probably have to introduce sooner or later, but sooner will be better, toilets back to the fields, because we have to recycle all the nutrients we're getting to the consumers. And that is essential to increase the efficiency of agriculture, and also to increase the efficiency of carbon sequestration, because there is no way to keep carbon in the soil and if we can't link it with nutrients. One of the first nutrients linked with carbon is nitrogen, but there is phosphorus and there is other nutrients that link with carbon and then make it stay a little bit longer in the soil.
Okay, so yeah, there are more and more people which live far away from the farm, which have no idea about what is working, but we have to bring back the toilet to fields, that's for sure, as soon as possible. And it's a mission you have also. Maybe it's a mission we could have money for the future. But we are okay. And if we want to have an impact also on the climate, if I understand well, we have to be able to recycle, to reuse the nutriment, but also to use some nutriment to help to keep carbon in soil. That's it.
Yeah.
So there are two ways about the effect in environmental way on for the future. Okay.
Yeah, that's correct, Olivier. And it is probably today more important than to plant trees to save the planet.
Okay. So from farm to fork, we ask to have another sentence: farm to forks and toilet to field for the next Congress. That's it.
I agree with you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Frederic, and have a nice day in Martinique.
Thanks a lot, Olivier, and have a nice afternoon in Montreal.
Bye.
Bye bye.